hello chat indeed. Let me just post the rules real quick. So hello everybody. And we already got 2 people commenting right here. So, yeah, hot damn, actually made it to a stream for once. Hi, Shiro. And hello, chat. So, yes, indeed, hello, chat. Welcome to the stream. If this is your first time here, my name is Shiro. I'm a comic artist. And this stream is this specific stream is once a month, where I treat you guys to some requests for the color challenge. The colors are chosen randomly, and I was gonna say I choose. I have no control over that. The Wheel of Morality will choose 4 prompts out of the prompts I've received yesterday on my Instagram or my suggestion box, and then they will be dropped into the shop. Of course, if you have requested something, you are under no obligation of buying it, because that would be a little illegal, a little forced sale, and I'm not for forced sales. My old retail job would tell you I do not like to force sales. So let's get started. Just gonna check something real quick. Gotta share a post, and then we will go right here and get some stuff started. And click, and click. Alright, we're actually starting now. Let's go. Move that down here and this over here so I can actually read what you guys are saying. So, today's colors, as chosen randomly by using the Coolers website. We will start with the hex codes. Where I sound like a World War II Russian radio station giving out codes to defeat the enemy. But they're actually color codes if you guys want to participate. Oh, hello. So here we have Car9723 saying, hello, I finally decided to watch your live, and dang, it's been long since the last time I read your Smack series. How long are we talking about? We are up to Adventure 10. When did you last read the series? And while we wait for the answer, the first code. Oh, shoot. Give me a second, guys. I forgot one number off of that code on the first color. Don't mind me, just being a professional. Okay, we're good. So the first code is E0BAD7 Pink Orchid, and then we have F7B Tree 2B Sunflower Gold, and finally 48B F84 Emerald. I got lucky looking into my screenshots for that one. So, converted to Ohuhu colors. It's been long, but I can tell you I enjoy your series a lot. Thank you! We're in the middle of Adventure 10 right now. Chemical Reaction, of course, it's updated every Thursday on Global Comics, Divine Art, everywhere else. I mean, I'm on a lot of socials and I post when I update them, so there we go. And you know who this means? RV1. Am I in the shot? I'm in the shot. Okay, RV160 Tessel. Of course, it is not focusing, and that is normal. Y2 Sunflower. This is rare that it's the name of the color is the same between Ohuhu and Coolors. And G120 Yellowish Green, which is more like a really, really light spring green to me, but what the fuck do I know? So, we are having very springy, almost Eastery colors today, even if Easter was last month. Ipso facto, let's go to the star of the show, the Wheel of Morality. And it will choose 4 prompts that we will draw. We're in. Alright. Sounds good for me, just like the color palette, the status features. Yeah, that part I actually did on purpose. Wheel of Morality, turn. Tell us the lesson that we shall learn. And the first prompt is Miss Frizzle! This is a new feature where the title that wins, quote-unquote, is in the middle of the screen, so I don't have to move the tablet as much, and I like that very much. It's great for filming, I tell you. We're starting with Miss Frizzle. That's gonna be fun. I've never drawn Miss Frizzle before. I'm here just folding laundry. Well, I mean, the stream is like 2 hours, an hour and a half, 2 hours, so yeah, do stuff while you're listening to me. I encourage it. Reference photos. Miss Frizzle. There you are. Just make sure I'm in the shot. I'm gonna turn on another light, see if I'm going to look a little less basement dwelly. Yeah, I mean, I do dwell in a basement, I'm just saying. You guys deserve a little bit more light. Water. Okay, who watched Miss Frizzle when they were kids? I watched Miss Frizzle. I especially remember the no friction episode where they were playing in a baseball field that had no friction. A field trip teacher who drives a school bus that ignores all the physics and time, right? Indeed. Or, you know, basic child safety. Arnold is sick today? Let's go up his anus. Or, oh wow, we're salmon eggs and we're being fertilized. Still remembers Magic School Bus on the school TV. See, I never watched a Magic School Bus at school. I mean, they probably translated it in French, but I don't think we had the budget for the Magic School Bus. We had like no-name documentaries. Get messy, make mistakes. If at first you don't succeed, find out why. I love the Magic School Bus. Here, holy, hang on. There's a lot of comments I missed while I was sketching. On the school TV, in stand, pines, tone, and manner, basic child safety. Prepare to be ignored. Have you seen Nintendo High? It's a series of Smash Bros. Characters as high school students, by the way. Hi, girl. Where? Girl, where? Miss Frizzle? There's no girl here. TMSB on school TV was a part of English education time in mornings. It was all English. I love the Magic School Bus. Hey, Shiro. Hi, Coco. And hi, Bono. But yeah, if we ever watched TV at school, it was always in French, because I'm French. Be jealous, I'm an A&W, I'll eat cheese curds for you. I am extremely jealous. And the show eventually got a sequel, if I remember correctly. Magic School Bus, yeah. It was quote-unquote hosted by Miss Frizzle's niece, who looked normal. And that part didn't quite sit well with me. Because literally the whole point of Miss Frizzle is that she was an original, you know what I mean? She did her thing, she dressed however she wanted. And then her niece shows up in a shirt and a t-shirt and jeans. Hope you like the color in the drawing. Well, I'm Okay, first of all, Bono, I'm non-binary. I know you're not real good at catching subtle hints. I am non-binary. And Super Carlo here. Hi, Carlo. I hope you like the color in the drawing. I mean, I don't know how else to pass the message. With the way I've been gushing on the colors of the drawing. And if you guys want to know what the drawing we're talking about, I am working on a post to put on my socials, on my many socials. Right now, the post is only on Instagram because it's a collaboration post of some colors done on one of my line arts that I graciously donated. That's not too bad for a first try. But yeah, you know that thing where people tend to think that everybody on the internet is like the same as them, and I got a lot of American fans, and they all go, do you have nostalgia for this specifically American show? And very rarely do I get to say yes. I'm from South Korea, and English was always a part of the school curriculum at the time, at least when I was older than 9 until the high school graduation. Yeah, me, English started to be part of curriculum starting at grade 4. But I could speak English way before that because my father is English. Sure, I went to Canada in April and everyone spoke French there and it made me feel kind of intimidated. Sir, you went to Montreal. If you want more English, you gotta go into regions, you know? When you start hearing banjo, you'll hear English too. Wait, you don't answer the Nintendo High question. Yeah, that would be because there's a lot of people chatting at the same time. I know about Nintendo High, no, I don't watch it. Not part of my... So, I have a South Korean fan. That's interesting. That's good to know. But yeah, I had a lot of people, oh my god, Mr. Rogers, Mr. Rogers. And I'm like, yeah, I know who he is. I never watched a single episode. And sometimes they're like, you monster! And no, I had my own version, Mr. Rogers. I'm nice, I swear. Well, nice. That's, depends of the person, but anyway. But yeah, seriously, Joel, you went to Montreal. You're gonna friggin' expect French. Like, yes, Montreal is a very cosmopolitan city, but the thing with Quebec is that when you move to Quebec, they will force, if you don't already know French, they will force you to learn French and speak French. And when I say Quebec, I mean the province, not just the city. Because we have language laws, because we're afraid to get assimilated by the big bad English. Who is your favorite Mario character? Luigi. Next question. That's an easy, like, if you could see my studio right now, I think that would be a pretty easy question to answer. Like, you see this little guy right here, I got about 100 variations of him across my studio, my bedroom, and my living room. I got a lot of Ouija's. Guess so. It seems like it's rare to get fans outside North America for your side. I don't even have Canadian fans. As far as I know, I got a lot of American friends. I got a couple in Australia, somehow. A couple in Europe. And sometimes, like, when I check my Insight, I get something like, hey, this week's, a lot of people from the Philippines looked at your stuff, and I'm like, okay, thank you. Like, I don't talk a lot, so people are, well, when I say I don't talk a lot, I mean on socials. I post and then I go back to work. Where's my nice? Come here. I think my easier picks may be Rosalina or Daisy, then Mario or Luigi. I approve! I think my easier picks maybe. Okay, I don't have anything of Rosalina. I have a Daisy somewhere. Because she came with a pack that had a Luigi that I didn't have in my collection. Where did I put her? And if you're not here... Like, when I say I have a lot of Luigis, I'm not kidding. Daisy, where did I put you? She's somewhere in the studio. She's somewhere. She's not lost. She's just somewhere in the army of Luigi's. Gonna bring that here so I can see what I'm doing. But I have nothing of Rosalina. I don't think I even have anything of Princess Peach. Me, it's Luigi or nothing. I got a couple of Marios. Like, I have the Mario from the 1985 McDonald's collection, and I have the Hoskins Mario from the 1993 movie. And the Luigi version of both of these are on my dream list right now. Boogie was influential, I assume. Boogie? Well, I mostly moved on from others, as I'm currently into Gravity Falls fandom, but there was certainly a time I enjoyed Mario fan comics and arts. I mean, Three Little Princesses. Yeah, that's from my neck of the woods, too. That's Bourguiman. Well, I pronounce it Bourguiman. Could be Bourguiman, I don't know. And, yeah, he's from Montreal, him. Weirdest question. What do you think of Luigi and Bowser? All the power to them. I don't care. I do not get into ship wars. because these almost always degenerate in arguments. And if I don't start the argument, I'm not interested. Shiro, you kind of sound like a dick. Yeah, and that's because I am a dick. Like, you have people on one side, Shiro's a dick. You have people on the other side, Shiro is super nice. Well, you get the version of Shiro you deserve. I'm here and I was cleaning my gutters. How did the gutter cleaning go, Ronald? And the fandom of it was phenomenal and hilarious to watch. Yeah, I bet. I know I read the comic. I don't remember if I watched the fandom. Like, literally, the only fandom I watch is my own. Because sometimes they put surprises in it, and I'm just sitting here, and I already know the surprise because I get previews. And I'm just sitting here waiting for other people to notice the surprise. I'm like, eee! I am learning to draw this character live in front of a live studio audience. I'm still in the shot. It went good. Maybe next time we should go to Toronto. That's Joel for it. I understand how awful ship wars can be. Gravity Falls had a degree of conflicts on ships, like some of aggressive Dipsifica fans did, and there are far nicer Dipsifica fans, so no offense. None taken. I'll be honest, I didn't watch Gravity Falls. I know about it because internet, but I did not watch Gravity Falls. I think the only quote-unquote modern cartoon I've watched was Steven Universe. It's the only one I actually made time to watch. Speaking of Mario, your opinions on Mario cartoon adaptations like Super Show, movies, cheese curds were delicious. Fuck you, Coco. I'm kidding. Coco is my bestie. Like, sister level bestie. So if anybody is mean to Coco, well, she can kick you out because she's a mod. Gravity Falls is pretty nice to watch, and there were some people who did crossover fan arts with Steven Universe. Well, yeah, they came out roughly around the same time. There she is. Hey, that's pretty good from far. Would it be funny if Wario says, I don't know you, to Mario and be like, what? I don't know, I would think that would be something you would ask, like, hyper voice acting or something. I love Coco. I had to go to Wisconsin to get them, but oh, was it worth it? Well, there you have it for Miss Frizzle for now. We're gonna let her dry, so when we raise the pencil later, she doesn't smudge. And we will move on to the second prompt. Get the light back up here. Get used to seeing the light pass here and there, because I'm old and I need the light at certain places specifically. Sweet. Wheel of Morality, turn, turn, turn. Tell us a lesson that we shall learn. Hachiware the cat from Chikawa. This is going to be easy, actually. Reference. Even if the design is easy, I always recommend to grab a reference. Because sometimes your memory can be faulty. Seeing how you draw Miss Frizzle's outfit, I can imagine how hard her design would be to animate. Ugh. Well, she always had, like, heavily detailed dresses. So keeping all that, like, in animation and, like, on model, moving around her body, no friggin' wonder they mostly drew the school bus. And that's it. Did you get my submissions for this one? Yes, I did. I got the notification. My suggestion box was behaving roughly yesterday, so I suppose that's why you decided to comment under the graphic. But I caught it, it's in the list, and I got the references. After that, it just depends if the Wheel of Morality decides to pick it or not. No wonder why character design have been so stylized in the 1990s and once more the 2010s. Yeah, because sometimes you will see a lot of pilots. The one example that comes to mind right now, of course, is the pilot for Steven Universe, where everybody had a lot more details in their outfits. Or like in the case of Has Been Hotel, the animation is a lot more, quote, original and lively and like movie quality. And then you arrive to the TV show and everybody has been sanitized. The designs are down to their basest details without necessarily being plain. It's easier and faster to animate for a TV show. It's like when people think of classic Looney Tunes and how well they were animated, forgetting that these specific shorts were made for the cinemas, and they had a lot more time to work on them. thanks. Because like when they slow down on airing on TV the movie shorts, like what we consider classic Looney Tunes, and then they switch to the Patty Frailing, the quality took a dive, didn't it? But they had no choice. They had deadlines. And there was a thing with the copyright between Warner Brothers and the Patty Frailing, and that's why we had some weird stuff like Daffy Duck versus Speedy Gonzales. Which is easier to draw, Hello Kitty or this cat you're drawing? Quick like that, I would say Hello Kitty, because I've actually drawn Hello Kitty a couple of times, so I'm more used to her. But as far as detailing go, Hachikawa, I think that's his name. This cat is technically easier because he's completely nude. Hello Kitty usually has clothes on. Of course I have Hello Kitty stuff. Look at me. Look at what I'm wearing. I'm literally wearing a Hello Kitty pajamas as we speak. That's less restricted compared with weekly TV series. Yeah, exactly. There's such a thing as too much unnecessary detail. I'd rather focus on getting the drawings, animation, and guts of said animation. And here we go, and we start with the milk call head tilt. And I was just reading about it again this morning, because every time I see the article about the milk call head tilt, I have to read it because I enjoy it so much. I'd rather have Daffy Duck take on Yosemite Eats Sam. At least it would be interesting and different. Yeah, it was very awkward to have Daffy Duck against Speedy Gonzales. Like, why? Like I said, apparently it was some copyright shenanigans. So Milk Call, you would recognize this stuff in the like the Xerox era of Disney. He would do this head tilt with his characters. His characters would talk and their head would go like this. And it was literally something that was technically so complicated to do because of the timing, and he would not only have them talk while doing the head tilt, but their body would also move at the same time. So that was a lot of timing to work through, and he would do it just to show off. It was literally his signature move. He didn't have to do it, but it did make his characters seem more alive and kind of smug, like he would probably be every time he did his head tilt. Because we've seen the head tilt, like on Shere Khan, on, what's the name of the, was it Jasper? Or something else, the butler in the Aristocats. Of course, we've also seen them on good characters like Little John and Robin Hood. I'm pretty sure I've seen Tigger do it too. Who Framed Roger Rabbit is a dream of sorts in this fashion, perhaps. So many different characters from different companies. Yeah, they got pretty lucky with that. Back when copyright wasn't the be-all, end-all. Of course, there were rules. Daffy Duck and Donald Duck had to share the exact same number, like, amount of time on screen. Same for Mickey Mouse and Bugs. And they couldn't secure the rights for Felix and Popeye, if I'm not mistaken. Remember when Mickey and Bugs were talking to Eddie Valiant when he was falling down from the building? Can't forget it. You don't want it, Doc. Oh, you should probably give it to him. Oh. Felix the cat deserves better. Oh Lord, don't get me started on what's happening with Felix. Oh, there's a lot happening. Like, literally, the last time I had news from Felix, his rights had been bought by a clothing company who made one series of shirts with him on, and then I heard nothing, and that was years ago. Is that a brush pen? Yes, it is. How common is it in Canada? Well, I don't know how common brush pens are in Canada. I know I have a bunch. We should appreciate that Popeye is now in the public domain. I know about those pitiful horror films with Elsa Segar's Sailor. Yeah, there's 3 of them as far as I know. And I keep saying that there is an actually good horror story based on Popeye, and Dark Horse did it. Where Popeye is actually a reanimated zombie. He was killed by the sea hag, and she controls him to sink ships. And, like, the only thing he says in the entire comic is, I am what I am. And it's like at the end of the comic, after she's done bragging that she killed him and she finally controls him. And he says it, and I think like there's a tear slowly running down his face. It's hard to tell because he's always wet. He comes from the sea, you know? And for the record, I have to import a lot of my art supplies because they're not readily available where I live. And this would be my favorite way to ink. This is a G-pen from the leader on the Tachikawa holder. I have a Maru and a spoon, but I definitely prefer the G-pen. Somehow, it works well with my very clumsy left hand. And I keep saying, if you want to shop on Deleter, go to Deleter Manga Shop. It's cheaper than Deleter.com. Hang on, I'm taking a layer off, people. I'm starting to feel hot. And if any Twitch admin are listening, I have more clothes under this, so don't complain. I'm off camera anyway. The worst the kids are going to see is like a bare wrist. Of course, there's going to be another live stream tomorrow, but it's not going to be the color challenge. It's the usual Sunday live stream where I draw a comic and you guys actually see my face and recoil in horror. I will be talking about this little thing here that I got in the mail this week. So If you want to know what that's about, tune in tomorrow, same time, 1 p.m. My time. That would be Eastern. Alright, third prompt. Wheel of Morality, turn, turn, turn. Tell us a lesson that we shall learn. Morgan! Now that I think about it, I have never played a single Darkstalker game in my life. Morgan! There you are. And then there's the dog version of Betty Boop. That's public domain. And then that's not stopping them. I think there's 2 horror Betty Boops movies in the work. The one I know about, there's a bunch of meat fodder that decide to visit an old theater and she's quote-unquote haunting it, so yeah. It's nearly 3 a.m. in Seoul. Well, I tend to say Seoul because that's how we pronounce it in French. I think in English it's just Seoul, like real fast. I was able to join because of my terrible sleeping schedule. Oh, fellow artist. And let's do that. This is entertaining me because just recently, and right now it's a Patreon exclusive. I drew a more adult Princess Peach and Mario, and I censored them for public viewing. With parody Astercard and Booba. Credit cards. because I'm stupid like that. Yeah, what's the hardest thing to draw in your opinion? I can say it's a complex building that takes time and effort, and hands are hard to get right. Hands are hard. I struggle a lot with anything with right angles. I struggle with buildings, cars, robots. So whenever you see a good building or car or robot that I drew, it was either pure luck or I simply traced right off a 3D model. It's not a secret. Oh, there we go. I can see what I'm doing. So whoever suggested Morgan, if I get yelled at by Twitch, it's your fault. Robots, I can see why. And I do like robots. Like, one of the many animes I grew up with was Giant Robo Grandizer. And it's literally what if giant robos, but in a ranch. Grandizer just got a game based off of it called Feast of the Wolves, if you want to check that out. Yeah, it's in my wish list. They got another one too, whose name escapes me right now. Japan had plenty of giant robots to show off and make money out of children's and adults' pockets indeed. Is that the pen you threatened to buster sword up someone's material slot? No, the material slot joke. This pen didn't exist at the time. I was still on microns. And then, to put it politely, I am just not into micron pens anymore. I feel I get a better result with my G pen. If I really need a small line, I use my Maru. I try not to use liners too much. This one doesn't really count because it has a brush pen. and that brush pen is like kind of rubbery, like my favorite brush pen, which is a Schulpitz. And I think it's Pilot that makes these, and they're like $5. The G-Pen. Oh no, the G-Pen was way after that. Oh, I would not Buster Sword anybody with that G-Pen. Are you kidding me? It's my favorite. So how is the weather up there where you are? There we go. Today, as far as I know, it's okay. A little bit sunny, a little bit cloudy. We finally got all the snow melted. Yeah, not us. We still got snow. Everybody else in the chat, hey, Canadian still got snow. Hey, what a surprise! Canadian got snow. Well, we had a lot of rain yesterday, so that helped melt the snow a lot. We also had a shitty contractor for our basement, so some of that snow ended up inside, melted. Tiny pause to have a little drink, so if you guys didn't have a little drink right now, I suggest you have a little drink. When it comes to drawing humans in any form, which kind of figures you haven't tried and what you want to dare and draw? Okay, for context, I am 43 years old, and I've been drawing for 40 years non-stop. I picked up a Crayola when I was 3 years and 2 days old. I know because Mom kept my very first drawings in her wallet, and I never put it down. So at this point in my career, I've pretty much drawn everything I've ever dared to draw. And like, I have characters of different races, I have characters with different body types, I've drawn monsters, I've drawn gore, I've drawn Junji Ito adult material, just because I could. Mount Mall parking lot is finally gone in my area. I don't know if our Mount parking lot is gone yet. Probably. Melts faster over there than over here. Those are curious. My name is Shiro. My handle is so very unofficial because my specialty is imitating art styles. And I do it purely for fun because sometimes I'll wake up and I'll want to draw something in a specific style and I'll just do it. Why? Because it's fun. 43 is a lot of years. Oh yeah, and I lived every single one of them. I'm gonna be 44 in September. Don't worry, if you come back tomorrow to see the live stream and you see my face, you will absolutely believe I'm 43 years old. You want old? I am older than Luigi. I'm younger than Mario, but I'm older than Luigi. Mario first debuted in 1981. Luigi debuted in 1983. I debuted in 1982. And I don't want to hear anything about 40s being, oh, you're so young, you're only in your 40s. No, 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 no. According to my popcorn knees, I'm old, okay? Well. Give her the Kim Possible lip, and then I will fill it up a little bit with color when we get there. I do wish I could draw a bit more horror. Like right now, I'm treating myself. I've had a horror story in my head for years that I'm finally illustrating during the Sunday live stream. And right now it doesn't look super horror, but just wait. I don't know if I can say this, but a character you're currently drawing has a degree of tone. I mean, some muscle. What kind of character she is? Morrigan is from the fighting game Darkstalkers. That's why I'm giving her a bit more tone, like we can see here. Of course, she's not as buff as Felicia, but she can hold her own in a battle. I believe for a while, Darkstalkers was localized here as Night Warriors. Probably because Stalkers was not okay. And I believe also they are a Capcom IP. But it's been a while since they were used. Capcom is pretty concentrated on Street Fighter. Now we're gonna leave Morrigan rest a little bit while she dries, and we will move on to the fourth prompt. Trust me, you grow up in the 90s, you learn about Morgan and Felicia real quick if you're half a gamer. And Chun-Li and Cammy. Now that explains her arm. It looks pretty solid. What is the worst Mario game you ever played that you never want to play again? People would probably jump on Sticker Star for that answer. Because I did enjoy Sticker Star right up until the bosses. But I would say literally Color Splash. I did not enjoy Color Splash. The bosses are unfair. Literally, they are unfair. For some of them, like, it's literally a guessing game, like you're playing a goddamn Sierra Online click. Point and click. I'm laughing, but I'm crying inside. And then there's that little asshole that goes over to levels 100 and sucks up the paint, and you have to find all the empty paint spots again to fill them up. And then there's the Rochambeau temple. Oh my friggin' lord, that game. Like, literally, it was one of the few full games that I had downloaded on my Wii U. And then I cleared it out to make more room. And then when they threatened to shut down the Wii U shop, I didn't re-download it. And I'm not exactly in the market to get a physical copy. That's how much I didn't like Color Splash. I don't miss it. Alright, last prompt, and then we'll keep reading the chat. And no wonder why some people like to draw or design muscular girls or women characters somewhere on the internet. I saw several on DA and social networks. Yeah, the ones you saw on DA completely... that's a fetish. But me, if I have to draw a muscular girl, just for me, Chun-Li, hands down, Chun-Li. I love Chun-Li. I adore Chun-Li. Because she's like me. She's got big-ass legs. At least Sticker Star is getting a mod that makes more in line with the 2010 trailer. Inspired by Bono. Your opinion on Hotel Mario? Mario is missing. I'm going to pick... Well, not me, but the Wheel of Morality is going to pick the last prompt. And then I'll answer that question. Because, yeah, we're going somewhere with that question. Wheel of Morality, turn, turn, turn. Tell us a lesson that we shall learn. The Grumpy Care Bear. Another easy one. I've drawn Care Bears a fair couple of times now. So I think we're good. So, Hotel Mario and Mario is missing. I have never played Hotel Mario. I non-ironically enjoyed Mario is Missing. I've played Mario is Missing and I actually had a blast. History and geography were like very good subjects for me in school. I was really good in those. Well, I had a good teacher, so... And I enjoyed them a lot, so... Whenever they ask a question in the game, I was like, ooh, I know that one! Or like, where do you think you should be going according to these hints? And then I see the sprite on the map, and I'm like, oh, Rio de Janeiro, that's where I'm going! You're right! So I have zero opinion on Hotel Mario because I never tried it, but I actually like Mario is Missing. I had a lot of fun with that. I also unironically love Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, and that game fucking sucks, but it has great music. Let's see if I can get all of Grumpy in here. So it's probably gonna look a little weird because I tend to draw my Care Bears like the Nelvana show. So they have little heart ears, like the Nelvana show, instead of regular bear ears. So yeah, there's my dark secret. I like Mario is Missing, and I like Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. If you feel the need to unsubscribe after that, I understand. At no point did I ever say I had good taste. So fun fact, when we were young, my twin brother, had a plush of Grumpy Bear, and I had a plush of Funshine Bear. His sadly burned down with my grandparents' house, but I still have Funshine somewhere in the attic. Any of you guys have a favorite Care Bear? Cousins count. Cousins absolutely count. Of course, mine is Funshine. Can't go wrong with a little piece of shit that likes to tease their friends. So in French, while we wait for you guys' answers, in French, originally, the Care Bears were called the bisounours. A bisou is French for a kiss, or a snuggle involving the face. The problem is, once you get to Quebec, like the first series, the really cute series, was called the Bisounours. Bisou. Basically the kiss bears or the snuggle bears. But once you got to Quebec, bisou is fine, but they were called the Bisounours. So bisoun, and that's slang for dick. So by the time Nelvana came around, they kind of had to change the name. So now in French they're called the Câlinours, basically the snuggle bears. And that's your little Canadian lore for today. You can't say I'm not educational. All right. And there you have it for Grumpy Bear. We're going to let him dry and then go back to Miss Frizzle and do our best to color her with the colors we got. We're halfway there. Oh, we're halfway there. Well, just finished the Care Bear. I need my brush. I need my brush. Stream looks like it's still going. You guys went silent like super fast. Apparently that was the forbidden question. I'm just gonna check real quick that I'm still rolling on the YouTube while taking another sip of water. I'm still rolling. Now there should be a delay for YouTube. Wow, I knew there was a delay for YouTube, but holy jeez. Oh my goodness, the delay. Wow. But I'm not frozen, so there's that. Wow. All right then. Let's get started. Let's use the pinkish for here. And because I have a yellow, I will layer the yellow and we'll have another color. Don't know what kind of color it's going to be, but I guess we'll see when we get there. That's something I never understood, but that's just me. People that, like, they start traditionally, and then they decide they try digitally, and then they decide they're only going to draw digitally from now on. I like to be able to draw traditionally here and there. Well, it's true that I don't really use my Copics anymore, but I don't use them in favor of my my Ohuhus. I like the Ohuhus better, personally. Maybe it's because of the way they make their ink, that it's less archival than the Copics. I don't even know if the Copics are archival. They're alcohol markers, so probably not. But there's something in the Copic markers that makes the ink kind of sticky, especially for the darker colors. I believe in one of my How to Draw manga books, they call the Copic ink made with dye stuff, and it's more like particles. But I do like the Ohuhus better, though. In my humble opinion. I have tried both, and I definitely prefer the Ohuhus. And finally, I almost forgot. There's only so much I can do with the three colors I got, but let's do it regardless. That makes it like, what, 3 months now? For the poor guy requesting his inflation fetish picture, and the wheel of morality is like, no. But like I said, I have no control over it. I could have control over it. I am able to cheat the wheel, but I don't. Sometimes I look at these prompts and I'm thinking maybe I should, but I try to be nice. It's hard, but I try. And I try. Oh my God, do I try? But I can't help it. I'm just a dick. Put my initials and then we move on to the second card, which shouldn't take too long. Hang on, I am choking to death. Okay. Done. I mean, it's not my fault, guys. That's the reference. can move on to Morgan right away. Excuse me. I've been doing pretty good on the burps today. So far. Knock on wood. It's weird that everybody stopped talking at the same time. My stream seems to be going. Well, if everybody decided to leave at the same time, that's okay. These streams are recorded. This color is pretty accurate. Maybe I should have drawn her chibi. It would have been so cute. I am gonna get yelled at for these boobies. But not only are they covered, if anybody's playing Darkstalkers right now and doing a Let's Play on YouTube, these boobies have already been on YouTube. I could use the yellow for the rest of her pieces, but I think I'm going to be using the brush pen here to give her a lot of contrast and to match her design better. At least adding the black here, it's not going to quote-unquote ghost it later because I'm not going to erase. The pencil has already been erased off of this picture. If you're inking something traditionally, whenever possible, try to just do the basic line art first, then erase the pencil, but try not to erase them. If you're inking somebody else's work, let's say, try not to erase where they mark the black areas. Usually it's marked with a small X. because after that, if you do all the black fills and then you erase on top, you're going to need to usually do your black fills again, because the eraser will lift off a layer of ink, usually. And of course, you know what's coming, the shiki shikis. I don't know if you guys are still commenting. I know I didn't see any comment updates when I went to look on YouTube. I'm gonna use the green to shade her little ringlets, because I feel the yellow is going to be too saturated. I'm gonna check on YouTube again, because I don't know, maybe Restream chat is busted. It can happen. I know the chat on my Streamlab is busted. There's a fix for it apparently, and I kind of don't really want to use it. Because it might delete some of my settings, and I'm not here for that. Oh, all right. One more prompt and we're done for today. Oh, wait. I wanted to add some shine to her hair and I forgot. And alright, now I'm good. Let's let her dry. And move on. Oh, that leg is really throwing me off. And we're up for Grumpy Bear. Ow. Damn near ripped it. Sorry, Grumpy. That's probably why he's grumpy. He knew this was going to happen. It's weird to color Grumpy green. So I'm probably going to do the same thing that I did with the... already forgot his name, the cat there. Or maybe leave him green. Because you tend to associate Care Bears with their colors. Pink is for cheer. Or hugs. Green is for luck. And blue is usually for grumpy. Orange is for champ. Yellow is for funshine. Now he looks really mad. Oops, I'm almost out of the... Get back in the screen, you know. There we have it, a strangely lucky Grumpy Bear. Color is little raindrops. Okay, now we're good. In his underbelly, try to give it some sort of dimension with the colors I got. Oh, that was fairly easy, quote unquote, even with Morrigan. And with that, we are done for today. Let's try and back up and take a look at today's cards. I have a gooseneck, but it's not the best gooseneck. There we go. And Morrigan. And Chikawate, I think their name is. And finally, Miss Frizzle. And that is it for today's challenge. I think I did pretty good. If I have to pick which one would be my favorite, would be Miss Frizzle. I have drawn Morrigan before, but Miss Frizzle has like the perfect balance of, it was complicated because it was my first try, but she looks really good for a first try. So that's that. Of course, as usual, with every end of stream, extra special caramel, drizzle, rainbow, sprinkle, chocolate syrup, thanks to our supporters, Ember Beeple, K, Zennavis, Bad at Multiplayers, Blossis, Laura, S, Jeff, BRC, Tanuk, Mario, 369, Red Reaper, and Noah. Our part-time supporters, Super Today, 808, Rocket Mouse, and Enlightening Spirited Dragon, 938. Your continued support is immensely appreciated, of course. Continued and part-time. Next live stream is going to be tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That's my time, not your time. Maybe your time, I don't know you, I don't know your life. Hope you guys had fun watching me draw this, a lot of fun drawing it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I love you all! And now I gotta go give the dog a bath. Bye bye.